Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matthew Msingati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. In this video, I'm going to explain to you in details with clarity what Shadcn is. I am hoping to unpack and also remove all the misunderstanding, the misconception, and also the noise from YouTube videos and internet. Then you might ask, what is that noise? Okay, let me just give you a quick overview of the noise from the internet. Okay, most people view Shadcn as a component library that has got beautiful user interface component. Okay, it's all about this styled some sort of beautiful user interface, and it's not about that. It is about you building your own component library. So when you are introduced to it and you hear the buzzwords beautiful, interesting, nice interface, and well designed, well, I've got news for you. Shadcn, it's not about that. Okay, enough about that. Let me just give you what I am busy with, and I have built this with Shadcn. Okay, so how is my own approach of understanding Shadcn going to help you to become a better developer? This is what you are going to gain from this video and from this channel. Number one, I'm going to assist you to think like an architect and like an engineer rather than a designer. Okay, the beauty of design, it's there and I understand it, but at this point in time, in order for you to understand Shadcn so that it cannot be confusing, more especially the internet and YouTube videos, they make that confusing. Okay, let's get into practicals. Okay, as you can see, I've got a Shadcn component here, which is here, and that Shadcn component, it's a dialog. Okay, it's a dialog, this one. Okay, look at how engineers and architects think. I've got that dialogue. I'm not saying I've got a beautiful dialogue. Okay, I'm saying I've got that dialogue, and I have modified that dialogue to be reusable. I have made a template out of it. Instead of taking what Shadcn tells me to take, and based on my code, I took this and I created a template out of it, and look at what I came up with. This is that dialog. As you can see, it has got the name Matthew the designer and some component. Okay, let's just check here. What I did, I took this component as big as it is and I shoved and I pushed it inside that dialog as a template. Now this is what I got. As you can see, the same dialog. Okay, when I want to modify anything that is in that dialog, I do that on one place and one place only, as you can see here. Okay, that means I can change this here, one place, and then from then, imagine if we were having thousands and thousands of places that are using that dialog, meaning that I was just going to change it to one place and it changes in everywhere. Okay, as you can see, this dialog doesn't really mind much about how big the component that has been fixed here. As you can see, I've just finished showing you my own way of using Shadcn, and I didn't mention nice interface, I didn't mention Tailwind CSS, I didn't mention styling, I didn't mention light and dark themes. I'm just talking about engineer. If this maybe terms or this explanation is a little bit higher level for you, I will advise you to go to my other videos and listen there when I'm breaking down, and watch my videos when I'm breaking down these in detail. Let's just get into Shadcn. I have proven to you that Shadcn is not about styled and beautiful component. It's about engineering. It's about architecturing. It's about how easy can I create it and how well can I maintain it. The beauty aspect of it, it's a side effect. It's something that comes natural. Point in case, I am a designer, so I'm capable of designing beautiful user interfaces. That comes as a side effect. It's something that is within me. But now I'm explaining to you front-end engineering. Okay, so part one. People view Shadcn as a UI library. This is what they will always show you in their videos. There is a light and dark theme, easy to use, and I'm saying that's not cool. What I'm introducing to you, Shadcn is a library for you to build your own library. So how are you going to build your own library out of Shadcn? Let me just make something practical. I've got a folder here, which is my components. Okay, my own component. I've got my own component that I've created under Shadcn. As I'm working with Shadcn, I'm creating my own component which are easy to use, including these ones. Okay, including this one that I have made a template and I am reusing it. Okay, now let me demystify Shadcn to break it down and make it easier for you to understand. As soon as somebody mentions beauty and beautiful user interface and colors, they are taking you to the wrong direction. Let's just look at the building blocks of Shadcn. Shadcn is built on top of Redux UI and Tailwind CSS. Okay, now what I'm going to do to hit the point home, I'm just going to use the definition from this website. Point number one, the big and bold sentence from Shadcn, it's build your own component library. It doesn't talk about quick copy and paste and whatever. The big message is build. Number one, it's about building an architect, be a master builder, and then your own component library, meaning that build on top of me. Okay. And then let's go to Redux UI, of which another UI library that Shadcn is built on top of. Start building, and then building is also appearing. Well, a lot of internet and YouTube videos will tell you, look at this nice, beautiful, what can I say, component. It's already made for you, and you can quickly do it and quickly finish. Well, you can take that approach, but these libraries are focused on architecture and engineering. You must build. It must easy to do. It must be easy to explain. Your code must be clean and it must be easy to maintain. Let's go to another framework or UI. What can I say? Another CSS based library, which is Tailwind CSS. Let's see what it says. What is big and bold? Rapidly build modern. So as you can see, there is build on Tailwind CSS, there is build on Redux, and also there is build on Shadcn. So if you go to the internet and watch a video on YouTube that talks about it's easy, it's fast, and it's beautiful, it's styled component that teaches you Shadcn from a designer's perspective. And remember, I am a designer and I'm a developer, but at this point in time, I don't want to push the other agenda, the designer's mentality, because in order for you to understand Shadcn, you don't have to think like a designer. You have to think like an architect. Shadcn is going to be easier for you. I have struggled to understand Shadcn because I have watched a lot of tutorials which are just following this documentation. This documentation is clean, is straight and short to the point, but there are some things that I feel like it could have been explained better. For instance, this point of this is for you to build your own, and also how do you build, not how do you customize it, because this documentation it's built on how do you customize it, more like drag and drop, copy and paste. But the actual essence or the fruits of Shadcn, it's when you know how to build. Okay, in closing, let me just make an example of the internet mentality and the YouTube mentality when it comes to Shadcn, so that I can give you different types of um skilled guys, okay, so that you can clearly understand what I'm talking about. Okay, the internet view Shadcn as a library with beautiful styled components, make it easy, quick, fast, and that's it. That person thinks like a painter, somebody who deals with paint and colors and the roller and brushes and all those things. But me, I view Shadcn as a tool from which I can engineer, from which I can build, okay, my own libraries. I talk nothing about beautiful interface. I talk nothing about quick. I talk nothing about copy and paste. I'm building my own library. So I am thinking like a builder or an engineer. So the mentality that I want to adopt when it comes to Shadcn. Think like a builder, think like an engineer, think like an architect. I'm Matthew Sengati, the designer and developer, the hybrid, the best of both worlds. If you might be interested in my 10-hour coaching course, you want me to explain some difficult concept or what you are struggling with, feel free to go to my website, matthewsingati.co.za. Click a free discovery call, give me your email, and give me your name and your email. We are going to engage via a video call. I'm going to understand where you're coming from, what's difficult for you. This course is different. I don't prepare a 20-hour long video course, which you will get only 10% from it, whereas you have paid 100% for it. I create a tailor-made course for you. So let's design your career and code your future. See you on the next one. Let's just quickly talk about the title. Most people, they confused, they always pronounce shared CN as shared CDN. Okay, it's a common mistake. For me, I don't know, I never had that problem, but some people might pronounce it as shared CDN. I would like to assume the reason is in technology, there is something called content delivery network, which is in most cases the short form, it's CDN. So if you find somebody pronouncing it that way, please understand, but the actual name is shared CN. Okay, as I have told you that I have struggled to understand this UI component. Remember, I was also new in coding React and also Tailwind CSS, so there was a lot of things that I was struggling with. So this course is for absolute beginners. So where do we start then, Matthew? Let's start with the focus or the main aim, the chief aim of the user interface. Okay, in anything, as soon as you get lost, you must know that you have misunderstood the basics. Okay, with me, this has been the case. Obviously, trying to get a quick shortcut because I have to quickly do something, I always jump into YouTube videos, which helped in terms of follow me kind of learning. But this library doesn't require that. You need to understand it, how it has been developed, and also what it's supposed to do so that you can fully customize it. So, watching those YouTube videos, I did get a little bit of help here and there, but I didn't understand it deeply. Okay, up until now, when I'm coming back to the documentation to try to understand what is it. So if you want to know anything, dive deep into the basics of what is it first. Okay, now when I'm coming back after a lot of hustle, I realized that I have missed this part, and it's big and bold in front of me. Build your component library. I don't know what's the main aim of Shadcn when he was creating this library. Maybe it might happen when he gets into details, he might explain something different. But what he has wrote here, it's clear enough to really understand. Oh, Shadcn, it's not about building user interfaces. Shadcn is about building component libraries. This has helped me into understanding the the library or the UI library. When you get into the internet, they will always talk about beautiful components. They will talk about how easy it is to use, how quick it is to some sort of the themes, all the nice thing about it. If you find a video that says that on the internet, according to me, you are on the wrong track, because Shadcn, to be honest, it's not about that, but it's about you building your component library. Don't take it from me, take it from the guy Shadcn himself. This is what he wrote: build your component library. So it's like it's a tool that doesn't help you to build beautiful user interfaces, as you can see. Okay, that comes as a side effect. It's something that comes automatically, building user interfaces. Okay, but the most important thing is, as you use this library, this guy wants you to simplify your life and make things easier for you so that you can build your library. So meaning that when you look at Shadcn, don't think about building the actual user interface, because when you get into Shadcn, obviously YouTube videos has promised me like the moon and the stars. When I'm getting into Shadcn, I'm realizing that damn, I need to know how to code, or at least I need to have an in-depth knowledge about React, about components, about what can I say, Tailwind CSS, about Redis. Okay, so it's about you building your own library. So let me just give you a different mental picture of two guys who view Shadcn differently, my way and the internet way. Okay, the internet, it's comparing Shadcn to other UI libraries, okay? Copy and paste UI based libraries, where maybe this new guy might say that I have just found this UI library with beautiful designed components. That's the mentality of the internet. With me, I would say that I have just found a tool that will help me to build my own library. Okay. So my mentality, it's architectural. It's about how quick can I build and how easy can I modify. But what is being sold to you on the internet when you search for Shadcn libraries, we are selling features of it. We are selling beautiful things, and all those things. Okay, we are selling like the React UI game changer and all those things. But when I got deep into Shadcn, I realized that this tool, and this has been explained here, this tool, it's helping me to build my own thing. Okay, not to just quickly build an app and that's it, a beautiful app, a killer app that I don't know how to, it can't scale, it's difficult to edit the component and all those things. So enough about talking, let me show you practically, okay, how I have some sort of use this mentality of thinking about building, okay, and it has solved my problem. Okay. This is obviously this is some sort of a dialogue from Shadcn. Okay. This is how it is. Let me show you in the documentation. This is the dialogue. Okay, documentation. Let's just go to the dialogue. Here is it. Okay. So you click here. This is the sample of the code. Okay. Now, let's just quickly go through on how you install this, okay? First, you install it, and then after you've installed it, on your component folder, okay? On your component folder, there will be a subfolder here with UI, which is going to be made by Shadcn. Where is it? Okay, here is it. UI, and then these are all the Shadcn UI components, okay, meaning that that dialog thingy is supposed to be here. Let me just check. Let dialog, this one is there. Okay, dialog, here is it. Okay, this is the dialog. So this is some sort of a raw bone structure of this, some sort of the raw components of this dialog, which I would advise this is what you are not supposed to work with. Okay, with all the videos that you will get from the internet, they take an approach of editing from here. For instance, I will what can I say, I will install that dialog and then they will come here, okay, under this UI folder. This is Shadcn folder, and then they will start to fiddle with this. For me, this is a mentality of thinking about building a beautiful user interface. This is not a mentality of an engineer. In most cases, when you see front end jobs that when they are being advertised, okay, sometimes the employers refer to front end as a front end engineer. Okay, so now we are getting into that essence, the engineering part of the front end. Obviously the internet will sell to you beauty and colors and what can I say, aesthetics. That's not what I'm going to sell you here. I'm going to sell you the engineering when on that word front end engineer. And also I'm going to teach you how to think like an architect so that you can not only write functional code but you can write a beautiful code. Okay, now I've already told you, do not go here and edit here, but make your own copy. Okay. Not necessarily the copy of this, but create your own component out of this and edit that component. Okay. Let's go to this model, this dialog. Okay. So out of this, I have created my own. Okay. Now, before I show you my own version, let me show you a sample of code of this dialog. Okay, this is the usage. Okay, when you are using it, you will have to import this. Okay, and then from then this is the dialog. Okay, which is you can some sort of create your own from here, or you can modify this. Okay, this is what you have to modify. Remember, I told you that this is not what you modify. Whenever you've got some issues, this is the last resort. Okay, this is the last resort. Okay, then obviously the YouTube videos might sell you this second technique. Okay, which is to me still wrong. The second technique will be, since Shadcn UI it's giving you this as something to work with. Okay, you will import this and then copy and paste this, and then what you do, you modify from here. Okay, so here is the code. Let me just walk you through it. Okay, this part is going to be the part that triggers the action. Okay, that triggers the action, this one. Okay, so meaning that in your code here, okay, you will just go here and you will paste the code from Shadcn, and then you will take this button and put it inside the trigger tags. Okay, inside the trigger tags. Let's go and check the trigger tag. There is open there. You will put it here. Okay, meaning that in your own parent file, you will have this extra code. Okay, for me, I disapprove this method. Okay, you will have this extra code that will make your own, what can I say, your own code a bit longer and also a little bit cluttered. Imagine if you've got four of these. Okay, and remember, these they vary in length. This one looks is a little bit shorter, but others they are a little bit long. Okay, to me that's the problem. Then the other problem, if you look at this, okay, we've got the component, we've got the heading, we've got the description, and we've got these. Okay, according to this component, all of these they are in the same what, in the same code snippet. Okay, how do I know that? Here it is. So it's like you use this as a package. Okay, React, it's all about component composition. Okay, in React you need to be and some sort of an architect. Okay, some sort of a master builder, I can say. Let me just give you an example of a master builder. Okay, according to React, okay, according to React and how props are being passed from parent to children. Okay, this component, since it works with this one, suppose they are inside the same component so that they can share some states or they can share some information. Let me just make an example. Let me make sure that the sound is not too much. Okay, when I'm pressing play, by the way, I have built this for a client. This is an audiobook. Okay, so when you click here, as you can see, this is changing and also this is changing, and when I'm clicking here, and also this will change. So meaning that this component and this component, they are related somewhere somehow. And also this playing track, okay, and also this playing track, as you can see, okay, this component relates to this one. Okay, according to React, the first approach when you are new to React, you will have to put these into the same place. Okay, meaning that some sort of a same file, because this must be a parent, to this one, so that this can share some information. But when you are more advanced, okay, you know that React is about component composition. So the more independent your components are, for instance, in my code, this is an independent component and this is an independent component. You can take this part to a different page and also take this part to a different page. This means this allows for reusability. What if maybe tomorrow I want to create Spotify, or I want to create Apple Music? It means that I can reuse this piece of component independent of the playlist, and also I can use the playlist independent of the component. To drill deep and hit the point home, you can even use these tracks as independent components. So do you get the idea of things are separated? Okay, when you are a more advanced React developer, you start to separate your component. Okay, you start to have more components that are working together harmoniously. Okay, that's the engineering part. Let's go back to Shadcn. As you can see, everything is here. To me, this is wrong. Okay, what is wrong? I wish I can some sort of disintegrate this component in such a way that I am able to pass the heading and have some sort of a control when I want to show it and when I don't want to show it, and also gain control of these components that are inside here. I wish these components could be standalone components that I'm going to bring into this component. Okay, so Matthew, what are you saying then? This is what I'm saying. Number one, I said don't use this code from Shadcn UI, this one in component. Don't use it. It's a last resort. Okay, don't use it. And then I'm saying now, other developers will say, then you install Shadcn and you copy and paste the code that they have given you, and then you work from it. Okay, modify it. I'm saying no, don't modify it. Even whatever that they have given you here, treat it as a template. Remember, the focus of Shadcn is for you to build your own. Don't deviate from this. Don't want to quickly solve the problem of a beautiful UI. No, build your own library. Let me take this your own word into practical. As you can see here in my code, this is a components folder. Yes, this is components folder. Shadcn have got its own folder here, which is the UI. This one is dedicated for Shadcn. Okay. Then I've got my own components, my personal components. Why I've got my personal component? Because I am building my own library so that when I want to create a new project, I will copy this folder as it is, because now it's my component. It's like, since we have Shadcn here, Shadcn told me that you need to build your component library. So parallel to as I'm learning Shadcn and I'm using it, I am creating my own version, okay, of Shadcn, which is, let me just call it metcn. Do you get the mentality? Meaning that as I'm using Shadcn components, I'm having a storehouse, a warehouse of easy to use libraries. So Matthew's approach will be create your own component. Okay, these components, I've got my own generated ones which have got nothing to do with Shadcn, but at the same time I've got my watered down version of Shadcn's component. Now let's compare and contrast what the internet will say use and what I'm saying don't use, and let's see the difference. Come here. Let me go to dialog. Let's go to dialog. Come on. Where is dialog? Okay, here is dialog. Okay, let's copy this code. Okay, in fact, let me copy it. I will see if I'm going to use it. Okay, and then this is my own version of that code. I didn't edit that one. Okay, I didn't some sort of copy and paste and use that one. No, I have created my own component, a reusable component. Okay, meaning that in my storehouse or in my library, I've added one more component, and that component is under my component, under Shadcn, which is, as you can see, I've prefixed all my component with my. Okay, where did I get this? I've just followed Windows. You know, Windows, they've got my document, my music, my, that's what I followed. Okay, if it works, don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, so now let's look for my dialog. Here is my dialog. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you my dialog. Okay, compared to Shadcn's dialog. Okay, can I let me just create a file here that I will delete. Okay, I'm just gonna write shadcn.tsx. Okay, let me paste shadcn, and then just for removing those squiggly lines, let me copy this as well. Okay, so that we can have a full code, that a full working code from Shadcn. Okay, as you can see. But now what this is missing, it's missing that React functional component. Let's just do this, as you can see. Okay, this is where you will import. Let's take all our imports to where they belong. Okay, this is where our imports belong. Okay, my apologies for that. Let's take where the imports belong. Okay, the imports belong here, and then this belongs to the JSX, and then we will be done. Okay, and sorry for that. Let's take this and put it inside a JSX inside here. Okay, so meaning that this is Shadcn's component. Okay, as it is, let me move this. Okay, this is Shadcn. I don't want to save it. Where is my dialog? Let me just remove all these things. My apologies for this. Do you want to save Shadcn? Cancel, because I want to keep this one. This is my alert. No. Okay, let me. Sorry for this. I should have done this admin beforehand. This is my dialog. This is Shadcn's dialog. Okay. Now I want to put these side by side. Okay. Let me see if that is going to be quick. Can't I split my screen? Yes. Let's see. 100%. This is what I want. This is Shadcn, and where is mine? And this is mine. Okay. As you can see, here are the inputs. Okay, let's see. These are unnecessary spaces. Okay, we are starting at line number 1, we are ending at line 27. If we can remove, as you can see here, there are no spaces. This is some sort of a compact code. As you can see, my code has got some spaces, but I don't mind. It means that if I can remove those spaces, my code will be shorter. Okay, so the internet will sell you this way of using Shadcn, because we want to fiddle with what Shadcn has given us. Okay, because the internet believe like we are not wrong, because we are using what Shadcn has given us, so this is what we have, and I will fiddle with this. I am saying no, use also this as a template. Okay, and then create your own version so that you can deal with this. Okay, let's just quickly compare the lines here. Just a very quick and rough comparison. Make sure we don't have much spaces. Okay, we've got 30 and I've got 22. Okay, as you can see, we've got 30 here, and then here I've got 22. Okay, so let me just give you an idea. What have I done? Okay, number one, as you can see here, what Shadcn gives us. Okay, it's a dialog. It has got some sort of a trigger. Okay, meaning that your button will go here. Okay, meaning that you must some sort of, in your, what can I say, in your client code, okay, which is in this page. Okay, I need to copy this. The reason I'm copying this to add to my own client code, it's simply because I want to shove the button of interest in here. Okay, meaning that I have to take this 32 line of code into a client code, which is the code that consumes it, which is this page. Okay, which is this page. Now, this page must have all that code, okay, here, of which to me that's a problem. Okay, how do I solve this? Please bear with me. The techniques that I'm going to give you might be a little bit advanced, maybe for a beginner. I do understand that, okay? But if you rewatch this video, okay, rewatch it and try to understand and take some notes, a light will come out. In a way, the dots will connect. That's how you learn. Okay, so I'm trying to say it sounds complicated and difficult because you are a beginner, but if you watch other tutorials on component composition, on the essence of React and what makes a better developer or a more advanced developer, then you will see that this was not that complicated. Okay, so number one, let's talk about code reusability. Okay, meaning that when you want to reuse this, okay, you must copy this one because now this code has become an integral part of a client code. Okay, meaning that you are saying in this page it must not be it must not use this, but this must be a part of it, which is a problem. In programming, you must promote or encourage loosely coupled architecture. Things must work together, okay, but they must not be mixed together. So this is my problem. I'm going to bring this to a client code, which it doesn't need it. Number two, when I want to reuse this, okay, it means that I have to copy and paste this code because I have copied this page from Shadcn. If I want to build another component, maybe here, inside here, I'll put something else here, okay? Meaning that I will have to create another one, okay? With me, I don't do that. So what do you do, Matthew? This is what I do. I took this code, okay? Just gonna show you. Okay, I took this code, I deleted some of the things that I think I don't need. Okay, let's look at what I've used inside the content. Okay, which is the content. The content, it's this area. Okay, this area where there is the content, okay, meaning that I only left this closing box inside this area. Okay, I deleted everything that was there. Why? Because I don't need it. Okay, I can create my own. As you can see, there is no special stylings here. You can treat these as just normal div tags. Okay, so this is what I did. I only left the content, meaning that I deleted this one. Okay, and then my content goes here. Okay, so meaning that my content goes here. Okay, remember the content that I will shove here, it's a well styled content. Okay, I don't have to bring pieces here, pieces that are unstyled. I have to bring the styled content, meaning when I'm bringing this content here, I'm bringing it as uh, two input boxes, text boxes, and a button. As you can see, the spaces I've already taken care of. Okay, so now I am converting the shared CN component into a component. As you can see, I'm not using these. Okay, I'm converting this into a component that consumes, takes as a children only two components. Okay, so it's like I'm converting this to a some a component that has got only two important components in it. Which one are those? The trigger and the content area. Why are you doing that, Matthew? Because I want to even move this trigger here. I don't want to hard code it. I want to make it a variable so that I can substitute it. Okay. Sorry for that. I want to make it a variable so that I can substitute any trigger that I want. What do you mean? This is what I mean. I can substitute this button as a trigger, but very quickly I can use the same code, this one, but now pass this button. Okay, I can use the very same code, but now pass this icon. Okay, it will do the same thing. See the difference? We are thinking as engineers. Okay, let's take it further. Now, let me just close this. I don't use it. Okay, now what I'm going to do also inside the content, I want to use a variable. Okay, I want to use a variable here. Okay, so that I can substitute this content with a whatever that I want to put there. Okay, obviously whatever that I'm going to put there, it's going to be a standalone component on its own, just like this form. Okay, I'm going to shove it. So the takeaway here is that I have converted Shadcn's component into, number one, a shorter component with a small code. Number two, it has got two main important sections, the trigger and the content. Let's go here and explain that. Okay, as you can see, here is the trigger. The trigger consumes children. Okay, but children as an array, knowing very well that this parent component need to take only two children. If I convert the children of this array, of this component into an array, that means at position 0, I've got the first child, which according to me must definitely be a trigger. Okay. Secondly, it's the dialogue, okay, which is at position 2, there must be the content. Okay, let's go back. At position 1, I have passed this child. Okay, at position 2, I have passed this form. Now I have converted Shadcn's component into a reusable component. Okay, let me show that practically. Okay, let's say I want to use this. Okay, but now I want to use this modal component, but now I want to pass what? I want to pass this section entirely. Okay, as you can see, this is the section. So what will be my trigger? This button must be my trigger. Okay, how is that? How complicated can that be? If you were using Shadcn, it will mean, because you are using this code, okay, it will mean you have to copy this and do all the necessary changes. For me, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to take this template, okay, and then from then I'm going to push the first children and the second child, the first child and the second child, and that's it. Okay, so before I go, let me just quickly explain in details how this reusable component works, so that when I'm talking about it in the implementation, you can understand. Okay, now we've converted this into a component that takes two major sections, the trigger and the content. So whenever you think about this template now, think about it as a trigger and a template. And also we have removed the context from it, meaning that now it's just my dialogue. It's not the sign up dialogue. It doesn't have the context. Okay, it's meaningless. Okay, meaning that it just take two components, the trigger and the content. Okay, and then what it does, okay, as it receive children's, okay, which is two children. Suppose once you start to add 3, it's going to throw an error. What will throw an error? I've got a reusable function here that I am importing. Okay, where is that reusable function? Here is it, not this one. Here is it, children to array 2, meaning that I'm converting children into an array, but only 2 children. Okay, that's what this function does. So in this function, I am passing the children's dot to array. Okay, I'm using this children dot to array. I'm passing the children that I'm receiving. Those are 2 children, the trigger and the content. Okay, after that I will receive an array. At position 0, I've got the trigger. At position 1, I have got the content. Okay, so now let's quickly do that. Number one, I am not going to go to Shadcn again and copy this, okay, because I've made this a reusable component. Okay, so now let's quickly solve this problem before we end this video. When we click here, we want inside this modal, we want this to be there. Okay, so what we are going to do, let's look for this component. Okay, inside this component, we are going to import this component, import the function that will help us, and also import this template, and that is it. Okay, so now let's go to my component and look for a component with the name cartoon card. Here is the name cartoon card. Okay, so I might as well bring this function from here, copy and paste the function that will convert, sorry, and do copy this function. Okay, it will convert for us. Where is my cartoon thingy? Is not here. Okay, not a problem. I don't think I will use this. Okay, where is my cartoon thingy? Here is the cartoon card. So let's import the function first. Oh, okay. Okay, and the helpers. Okay, let me just point to it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I normally use at. Okay, let me just check the helpers. Okay, the helpers are inside the component. Okay, let's just say at, and then component. I wonder why we don't reach at component. Okay, let me just close this. Okay, let's say at. From here, I'm supposed to see all at components. Okay, and then forward slash my components, and then forward slash. Do I have helpers here? Helpers. Okay, here is what I want. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, that means I've imported the function, and then what I want, I must import my own template. Okay, and then which is it's my dialog. Okay, so we can go here, the name of this, it's my dialog. Okay, we can import it also. Okay, import my dialog. Okay, let me just click here. So that I can input it from the relevant place. I have got my dialog as a template. Now I must import what I will inject in the dialog. Okay. Let's see, what do we want to inject? It's a component that has got something to do with button. Let me just quickly check here. Am I inside? Not Shadcn. I'm looking for a component. Okay. I just, yeah, loading button. No, it has got text and button. Yeah, here is it. Okay, let me also import. I'm going to shove this as big as it is. Let me just check the name. Okay, we import this into where are we on card component? Cartoon card. Yes. Okay, correct, and then import. Okay, then let me make sure that I'm importing from the right place. Nope, this is not what I want. Okay, why it's not giving me what I want? Okay, where I am, I'm here. Let me just say from. Okay, from my components. Okay, but not helpers. Let me just copy and paste this. Okay, my components, and then text button. Okay, text button. 100% what it's saying. Text button is declared, but its value is never used. Okay, not a problem. I'm going to use it now. Okay, as you can see, now we've got everything. So now let's use our template, which is not the alert one, which is where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Maybe I have imported the wrong one. This is not my alert dialog box. It's just my dialog box. Okay. My dialog box. My dialog box, not alert. Okay. Sorry about that. This is what I want. Here's it. Let me save it. This is the one that I'm looking for. And also it's under Shadcn. Okay. Let me not forget that. This is what I want. It's other Shadcn. My dialog. Okay. My dialog is declared, but it's never used. Okay. That's not a problem. Let's start to use it. Okay. So what we want to do, we want to go to this button, sign up. Okay. Go to that button, sign up, which is, it's a loading button. Let's see if it's written sign up. Yes. This button, it's a trigger. It needs to be the first child of this. Okay. Let's quickly do that. Okay, it needs to be the first child. Do you see that I am not bringing the whole code? Okay, I am not bringing the whole code from Shadcn, which is this one. Okay, copy this and import this. I'm not doing that. Okay, this is the first child. That means that's not enough. I want to know which child am I going to use as a display, and it's this one. Okay, the second child. Okay, remember we are going to push these into that array. Okay, and then after, suppose we are done, let's just quickly see what this is complaining about. Oh, that add components has no exported member. That's not a problem. Let's just quickly go there. Go to definition. Okay, let me go out of here. Okay, here is this. Okay, components, my component, and text and button. Okay, let's see. My component, text and button, which is this one. Okay, function. I didn't export it. Okay, let's see what I've done at the bottom. Did I export it? I exported it as a default. Okay, let me just remove the default. Okay, that's about it. That one problem solved. And then come here. And also, I think the same thing happens here on my dialog. Okay, let's go to my dialog. My dialog's already opened here. Okay, just remove this. And that's it. Okay, this one is the error that we got from that code. Okay, the text button, is there any other thing that you are complaining with? Okay, let's see what it says. Has no default, which is my dialog has no default. Let's go to my dialog. Okay, let's just import it like this. Okay, so guys, don't mind about any other things that I'm doing which are a little bit confusing. If this video feels confusing, just watch it again. Okay, now we are done. Suppose everything is working. Okay, let's go back here, check the code, rerun it. Okay, let's see. An element type is an environment starting the building component or class function. Composite podcast as undefined. If a particular expert component definition, you might accept default and what. Okay, let me just quickly check that. Okay, where we are now, we are on text button. Okay, we're on text button. Yes, where we are here. Okay, so on the cartoon one. Okay, did I use this? Okay, I'm here in the cartoon. Okay, let's just quickly check. Sorry about that. Oh, the other thing that I usually don't do, let me close. Let me quickly terminate this terminal and restart it. Okay, so that I can see what's going on. Okay. npm run dev. Sometimes if you didn't terminate it, always it gives a problem. Okay. Let's see. Things ready. Let's refresh and see. Okay, obviously here we can see what type of an error it is, if there is an error. But as you can see, guys, we've just converted. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Text button does not contain a default export. That's not a problem. Okay, it's imported as, which is a text button. Okay, this is a text button. It's imported as a default, where this is where we want to use it here on the cartoon card. How did we import this on the cartoon card? Here is a text button. Okay, let's go to it and see function. How did we export it? Suppose we've exported it as a name. Okay, here is it. That's not a problem. We can do this as well. Let's quickly see. Okay, let's export it from here. Okay, let's see. Okay, okay, npm run dev. This is supposed to be the easiest thing I have ever done. The easiest, but it looks like it's taking some time, but no problem. You know, I'm used to errors, and now I love them. And also, this is a very, very careless and a simple error, but because of I'm in a hurry. Okay, check the render method of yeah. Oh, now I see. Ish, my apologies about that. It looks like on my home page I am using some of the functions that I have converted from default export to named components. Okay, now I see. Okay, let me just go to my home app, my home. Okay, am I using one of those components? Yes. Okay, I think so. And I'm importing it as a default instead of as a named component. Okay, happy with that. What else? Let's check on component. This one, it's that Shadcn thing that we can delete if we want to. Okay, now guys, we are good to go. My apologies for the up and down. Obviously, my approach to development is to show you that there are up and downs, and this is what we do behind the scene. As for me, Matthew Singati, the hybrid, I am used to this. Okay, fine. Now let's see. This is what we have here. In 3, 2, 1, let's check. As you can see, guys, we have just shoved the whole entire what can I say, component inside this. Okay, that's what we've just did. But if we're doing this the other way around, it will mean that we will have to come here and we will have to change this. The takeaway home here is, what if then we want to make changes on this dialog box? Okay, let's say maybe we want it to have a title by default, some sort of a title that comes here. Okay, in all of these parts. Okay, let's just quickly do that. I'm just going to edit one part and it will change on both parts. Okay, let's go back. This was the code that is I think I can even delete it. Okay, because I don't really need it. Okay, no, I don't need that code. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to go to my dialog. Okay, inside my dialog, I want to add some sort of a header or a title or something, which is I can do that here. Okay, before I pass the children. Okay, let's say h1. Okay, let's write Matthew, the designer. Okay, and a developer is going to be long. Okay, let's just make sure that we're doing the right thing. We want our template, which is my dialog template, composed out of Shadcn code. Okay, we've created our own template. Yes. Okay, before we render anything, which is we've got the first children, which is the trigger, is the one that we don't really see. Okay, this child, it's not visible here. Okay, that means we don't have to take much. It's not visible here. Okay, as you can see, we've already done what we want to do. Okay, so meaning that this one is not visible. Now, this is the visible one, the child at one. So what I'm doing, I'm putting a message before I render this one. As you can see, the message is here already. Okay, but let's check, is it going to be here if it's the same component? Obviously, as you can see, it's here. I hope obviously it took longer, and I'm not going to some sort of remove all those parts where I myself I was confused, as I've explained to you that I am tired because I have been trying to fiddle with this Shadcn thing for some time. Okay, so I hope you have learned something on this in terms of code reusability, meaning that now we've just created a library of our own. If Shadcn have got some sort of a library of components that they are using, it means that Matthew has got his own matcn, okay, a component, some sort of a collection of components that I am using. As you can see here, I'm not bragging and boasting about how beautiful this interface is and whatever, but I'm keeping my mentality of an engineer and an architect, okay, to come up with simple ways of doing things. As you can see, we just have this, and at the same time, we just have this. If you were doing this in a different way, you are going to take a lot of time, you are going to have code duplication. Lastly, let me close with the dry principle, okay? DRY, do not repeat yourself. But I know when I'm explaining, sometimes I over explain and I repeat myself. That's the only time when I repeat myself, so that you can understand. Otherwise, I'm Matthew Msingati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. If you feel like this video has added value in your own understanding of Shadcn, please subscribe for more. See you on the next one. I already got a folder here, which is Shadcn course. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm using Windows. I'm going to open this on Visual Studio Code. Okay, and then from then, as you can see, this is my folder. Okay, just a brief about the prerequisite. I am expecting you to have already installed Node.js. Node.js, it's a piece of software that enables you um, to run JavaScript, but obviously not on a browser like Chrome, Safari, and other browsers. But it helps you to run JavaScript on a server. And then I would also expect that you've got Visual Studio Code. Okay, if you've got those, then we are good to go. We are in this folder. We just have to click on this new terminal. Okay, when you click on this new terminal, this will tell you where you are in. This is very important. Okay, it will tell you where I am. Maybe as I'm installing, you will see why it's very important. The first challenge that we have, the folder that we are in, it has got capital letters. As you can see, N and C are capital letters. Next.js won't allow us to install the Next.js app using this name. So that means we will have to come up with a new name that has got small letters. Okay, so let's create the Next.js app. npx create dash next dash app. You don't have to memorize this command. You can go to Next.js documentation. You can copy and paste from there. Okay, if our folder didn't contain some capital letters, we were going to click dot here. Then Next.js was going to create an application with this name. But as you can see, we've got a mix of uppercase and lower cases, of which that's not going to work. So let's end it here. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video when everything that has started, just to cut down that part where we are just looking at this doing its own thing. Okay, so the name of our app, let's give it a Shadcn course. Okay, Shadcn, is this the right spelling for course? Okay, Shadcn course. Okay, meaning that this one is the wrong spelling. Okay, so Shadcn course, and then from then let's click enter. Invalid project name cannot contain leading and trailing spaces. Maybe I've got spaces there. Okay, let's try again. Okay, delete Shadcn course. Okay, remove the spaces. Boom. Okay, do you want to use TypeScript? Yes. ESLint? Yes. Tailwind CSS? Yes. Directory? No. App router? Yes. Okay, what else? Import alias? Let's not say no. Okay, as you can see, we have created our new nextjs application. Obviously this will take some time just to finish this, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the video so that I cannot make the video longer unnecessarily. Okay, so I will come back when this is done. Okay, guys, I'm back. As you can see, everything has been done by Next.js. This is our new folder, Shadcn course, and this is the folder structure. And that's about it. So continuing in the next video, we are going to go through Shadcn documentation. We are going to take all these components and implement them so that I can show you in detail how do you implement them. In case there are some tweaks, there are some certain codes that you need to manipulate, we are going to do that. I'm not just going to follow this copy and paste, but I'm going to give you some advice as to what do you do in this situation and what do you do in this situation so that you can implement Shadcn just like this and just like this. Don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next one. Point number one, always install Shadcn right after installing a new project. Okay. I don't advise to work on a project and then install what can I say, and then install Shadcn later. Okay. The reason is I am going to back up some files. Okay, I'm going to back up. In fact, let me not back up, but let me tell you the reason. The reason is Shadcn makes use of Tailwind. Okay, so it will manipulate this Tailwind config. As you can see, do you see how small it is now? Okay, and also the global CSS, it will manipulate this. Okay, so meaning that if you are working on a project that you have already changed a lot of things in here and you done with your Tailwind configuring, and then when you install Shadcn, it will ask you a lot of things. Do you use this Tailwind config.ts or .js? When you are done with that, it will overwrite all these files and then you will lose most of your work. So the first thing, always install it on a new project. If you are going to use an old project, just make sure you back up these files. Which are those files? Tailwind config number one, and this global CSS. In case there's a file that I forgot, I will mention it as we install Shadcn. Okay, now let's go to Shadcn and then let's see how do you install it. Installation. Okay, Next.js. Create a Next.js app. No, this is what we want. Shadcn at UI at latest init. Okay, we're going to use npm in this case, and then we are going to go to our Visual Studio Code. Okay, most importantly, it's very important to know where you are in terms of location. At the moment, this is where we are. This is a parent folder, this is not the application folder. Okay, so we need to cd Shadcn course. We need to go to this folder first. Maybe I've typed something wrong. This is where I am and I want to go to Shadcn course. Okay, let's say cd Shadcn course, cd Shadcn course, because it does not exist. Okay, maybe I'm already in that folder. Yeah, let me just try this. Okay, and see. Yeah, I'm not in the right folder. I thought as much. So what must I do? Let me just close Visual Studio Code and open it again. Okay, that is my best way to do it. Okay, so let me open this folder with the Visual Studio Code. Okay, here is the folder again. Let's just see where we are in the terminal. Okay, is the folder has got some small letters or capital letters. As you can see, the folder has got small letters. This is where we want it to be. Okay, so now that we are here, at first we were here. Okay, so meaning that I can paste this and then let's initialize our Shadcn. So what we are going to do here, we are going to watch these files. As you can see, 20 lines, and this one, where is that global? The CSS one, as you can see, plus minus how many? 26. So it's less than 30 lines. Let's see after we've installed Shadcn and see how many lines of code are going to be there as a proof that you must always install Shadcn earlier before you install any other thing, so that you won't find yourself having to merge the old ts config and the old with the new ts config and all that jazz. Okay, so let's pay attention to here. Do you like to use TypeScript? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, which style would you like to use? This one, let's just click default and slate. Okay, where is your global CSS? Do you see that this library wants to know where is the global CSS because it wants to make changes? Imagine now when you are done with the project and you've got all your variables here, and then after you've installed Shadcn, boom, everything is gone. It's going to be a problem. Okay, let's click there. And then would you like to use CSS variables? Yes. Okay. Where is your Tailwind config? As you can see, first it's asking Tailwind config.js. We are not using JavaScript, we are using TypeScript. So what we need to do here, you need to come and click here and then just type, okay, Tailwind, okay, dot config, okay, dot ts, not js, just like here, because we are using tailwind dot ts. So imagine if you've made a lot of configuration and then after installing Shadcn, and then obviously things break and your UI is ugly and all those things. So let's just double check tailwind.config.ts. That is what we want. We click enter. Okay, configure the import alias. I always do this. Yes, yes, okay. Server side component, yes, okay. This one you just click Y, yes, and that's it. So as you can see, this has refreshed. Okay, before we had less than 20 lines. Let's check now how many lines do we have. As you can see, it's more than 20. This is Shadcn installing its own thing. So guys, please install Shadcn on a fresh copy of Next.js so that you don't have to get into some sort of an unnecessary debugging and merging of files. Guys, that's about it. This is how you install Shadcn. If you have managed to reach this point, then you are on the right path into understanding Shadcn. I'm Matthew Singati, the hybrid, the designer and the developer. If you might want to ask me anything, just come here and give me your name and your email address, and I will come back to you. See you on the next one. Okay, let's just clear this. Okay, and then what we are going to do, we are going to run this project to see visually what is there, and then from then we have to delete everything and start from scratch. Okay, the first thing that we're going to start with, let me just quickly show you, even though we are not going to do that in this video. We are going to start here, okay, in the dark mode. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Sorry. Okay, so we are going to do something like this. Okay, if you might be interested to ask me something or schedule a discovery call, you can come here, give me your name and email. Boom. then we can talk. I can explain things that I'm not able to cover in YouTube, and also I might create a course tailor-made for your own unique problem. Okay, let's just jump straight into it. npm run dev. Okay, so what we are doing now, we are just running the project. Basically what we are going to do in this video, we are just going to clean this up. So let me just give you a brief about nextjs app router. Okay, so when the nextjs application is starting, it always start on this app folder, and then from the app folder it will go to the pages folder. So this is like our home page. This is where we are going to spend most of our time in. We're going to spend most of our time here, and maybe once here on the layout. Okay, so let's just go here. So as you can see, this is the home page. Okay, this is the home page. We are going to delete all of this. Let's just quickly see what's there in the home page. Okay, in case you are wondering, how do I know if that's the URL for the application, you can check here. Okay, as you can see, this is where the application is running. Okay, let's quickly check there. It's going to take some time. Okay, that's not much of a problem. So we are going to start with the dark mode. Okay, so as you can see, this is the home screen or the landing page. So what we want to do, we want to delete everything that is here. So what I want you to do is to highlight everything and delete. Okay, and then you can save. And then what I want you to do is to type RFCE and then press enter. Okay, if you have typed RFCE and this didn't happen, it will mean that you have not installed an extension, okay, that helps you with code snippet. Okay, so I always forgot that extension or that plugin. Okay, what I usually do, I just type React Redux. Okay, React Redux snippet extension. It's not this one. Okay, let me just say React. Okay, React Redux. It's this one. Okay, as you can see, this one is the installed one. So meaning that it's not all other ones. It's this one. ES7 React Redux GraphQL. Let me click it so that you can see. So you need to install this. Okay, as you can see, this one is the installed one. Okay, so meaning that this will enable you to do what we've just did. Okay, let me close this. Okay, so meaning that when you deleted everything, you can just say RFCE and that's it. Okay, this shortcut will take the name of this page, okay, as the name. Okay, so meaning that if you want, you can leave it like this, but as a good programming practice, please make your components capital letters. Okay, if it's going to be P, okay, just make it's the same as this page, but just make it a capital letter, because as we continue, or maybe when you are developing something else, you might notice that React might some sort of complain that this is not a React functional component since it doesn't have the capital letters. Okay, so now we are done with this. Let's just say hello world. Let's just type here hello world. Let's see what we have. Okay, as you can see, we've got hello world. In case you are seeing some funny styling here, maybe stripe lines or some sort of a gradient or grayish colors that you don't like, it will mean that you have to go to your global CSS under body. Okay, as you can see under body, this is a styling. Okay, gray text, whatever. You just have to remove this. Okay, so that there could be no default styling, so that you can have a blank template like this one. Okay, what else I wanted to cover here? I have talked a little bit about this page and this. Okay, let's talk about the file structure. Okay, remember we said I think this is the component.json file I was looking for here, and I said it's not here. Okay, but I've already said we are not going to use it anyway. Okay, so what I want us to talk about, it's the folders. Okay, more especially the component folder. This folder has been created by Shadcn. Okay, if we install a new Shadcn component, there will be a folder under this one which is called UI. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to create our own component. Okay, so the internet will tell you that Shadcn, it's a UI library and whatever. That's not what I'm preaching. My philosophy is, let me go back to the home page. Shadcn, it's a tool to help you to build your own component library. Okay, so I'm not about the colors, I'm not about the beauty, I'm not about the simplicity, I'm not about the shortcuts of the user interface, copy and paste. I'm not about that. I'm all about helping you to build your own component library. What does building your own component library mean? If Shadcn offer you these, okay, meaning that what can I say? These are some sort of easy to use kind of copy and paste template. Okay, they are already beautiful, well styled. As you can see, let me show you here. Okay, I didn't style this that much. It came with this close icon and other things. Maybe I did some changes here, but not that much. Even here, sorry for that. Okay, that's not where I want to go. Even here, I didn't style this box. Okay, and also this, I only worked on this. Okay, so meaning that the beauty aspect of it, it's more like something that is built in. It comes with the package. Okay, so we cannot really um some sort of shrink this library into some sort of UI component. Okay, but what I see it as, based on my experience, it helps you to build your own component. Okay, what does helping you to build your own component mean if then we are not about the aesthetics? Okay, it means that number one, you are going to be quicker on creating a component and efficient. Okay, and also in terms of maintaining those components is going to be easier. This means that this talks to front end as an engineering. Okay, you become a better developer, okay, by doing this, not just by being happy with copy and paste, but building your own component library. With that being said, it will mean that let's go to component and let's create our own component library. Okay, usually this is what I do. I always write my component. Okay, components. Okay, I always have this folder, which is my components. Okay, meaning that in this folder, I am going to have my personal component. Okay, and then what I'm going to do for clarity for now, let me introduce something else, which is the vendors. Okay, where are these components coming from? Okay, and then I will have Matthew here, which is these are the components that I'm going to create my own button, my own everything. And then I'm going to have also here Shadcn. Okay, Shadcn. This means that out of Shadcn, I will create, remember, my own, because Shadcn is all about helping you to build your own component library. I'm going to create my own, but based on their template. So that's why we have Shadcn here. Okay, so if maybe there's also another what can I say, another library that I've used, and I've also created my own sample of components from, I will just put the folder here. Okay, why do we have this folder? Let's say I'm creating a new project. Guess what I'm going to do? It's very simple. I will just copy this component folder and paste it there, and then boom, I'm good to go. Install Shadcn. I will have all my components that I have made, my template that I have made, which are easy to customize, and I know how to customize them. Okay, I think guys, that's about it. Thank you so much for viewing this video. Please, if this series is adding more value into your overall understanding of Shadcn and user interface design and development, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe in this video, we are going to create a dark mode. What is a dark mode? Let me just show you in a project that I am busy with. Okay, this is light and dark mode. Obviously, this is light mode and this is dark mode. So this is what we are going to create using Shadcn UI. Okay. Let's see. I'm Matthew Singati. If you might want to contact me and ask me something, you can go to my website and give me your name and email and ask me anything. Okay. In the previous video, we ended here. Okay. We have just created a simple nextjs application and we've just put hello world. Okay. So let's go to the documentation. This is our Shadcn documentation, and this is where we are on the dark mode. Okay, so we want to put a dark mode for Next.js, so we have clicked there, and this is all the instruction. Okay, these are all the instruction for using the dark mode. Okay, now what I want to do, okay, this is okay, this is where we are. This is our application. So what I'm going to do, I am going to look for some sort of an HTML, okay, that we are going to use. Okay, the reason why I'm not going to use a blank page, in the internet these days or on YouTube, when you are being taught concept, usually we use cats and dogs as example, or cars and houses. Okay, when you get into real life, it's hard for you as a student or as a beginner to relate what you've been taught into the problem, because in the real world problem you don't solve the cats and dog problems, boys and girls, you deal with the actual e-commerce. So items classes, it's needed, there's a lot of things, payment, so these are real life things. So in this case, I'm not just going to use this. Okay, I have looked for a landing page, something that is realistic, so that we can create a dark theme for a landing page. So I have searched on GitHub. Okay, you can just visit this URL. This is what you are going to see. This is a GitHub project and it's for free. It's by these guys. I don't know who they are, and maybe here's the name. I don't know who they are and what they do. I've just looked for something that is free, and then I will copy and paste, and then we take it from there. And I'm not going to copy everything. I'm just going to copy a certain portion of the code. Please note that the code is not mine. I will just use it for educational purposes. By the way, this is a free template. Okay, they are offering it for free. So at least we are not taking somebody's work without paying them. Okay, so what you can do, you can just visit this website, and also I'm going to put this website on the description. Okay, once we get here, we don't want everything. We only want a certain piece of code that we are going to work with, a certain piece of HTML. So the first attempt will be come here and look on components. These are the components, and then let's look for the components. Let's look for a hero. Okay, I hope it's going to give me the code. I hope I can copy. Copy. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's look for this hero. Okay, then what we're going to do, we are going to copy as it is. Let's see what can we do here. Okay, copy raw file. I hope this has copied everything. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this and paste it in our own HTML. And we are going to modify it in such a way that we delete what we don't want. Okay. Let's go to our code. Okay, as you can see, this is our code. So let's just replace this, click save. Okay, obviously we are going to see some red lines there. Okay, we're going to see some red lines there. Okay, this guy was using a container. Okay, now we are not going to use a container. So let me copy this, only this word container, and remove this. We are not going to use a container. Obviously, as you can see, we are supposed to have this container. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paste this container here and replace it with a normal div. Okay, okay, and save. So meaning that now I don't have a container, okay? And what else? There is an image that he is using, okay? He's using an image. We don't want to use an image, okay? Pa, 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 pa. Okay, I can remove this image thing, including this hero image thing. Okay, let me just copy this. Let me just copy this image and delete everything here. So I'm removing everything that has got something to do with image. Okay, let me search for image tag here. Okay, as you can see here, it has got squiggly line. So let me also remove it with its own container, okay, which is this one. Okay, I think I might as well as remove it with this one. Okay. Okay. Do we have any red thing? Not at the moment. So we have removed everything that we think we don't need. As you can see, there are no red lines and everything. So let's just go to our code and see. Okay. The other advantage of CSS is that sorry, Tailwind CSS. Okay. With the usual, what can I say, normal CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, the thing is you've got the HTML, okay, and you've got a CSS as an external file in most cases where you linked it, okay, where you link it, okay. But now with CSS, then it's some sort of a new paradigm, okay. You do everything in one page, meaning that I can put an HTML markup here and style this button in the same page. That comes with an advantage or some sort of the biggest advantage, just like here, we've just copied this code. We don't really have to look for a CSS file and link things because Tailwind CSS utility classes are already embedded here. So that's the advantage. So let's go to our page. As you can see, this is the page. Okay. Let's go and check. Where is this GitHub? Where is GitHub? Did I close that page? Okay, yeah, here is GitHub. Let me go back. Okay, let me go down, go back. Okay, as you can see, here is the page, okay, with all the icon, but we have removed the image, okay. What else do we want to do now? Let's go to our page, not this one, this one. The only thing that I want to do now, I just want to center this or to some sort of, what can I say, to some sort of center it so that it cannot be exactly here on this edge. That's the only thing that I'm going to do. So how am I going to do that? Okay, I am going to come here. Do you see this React fragment, which is, it's some sort of a parent. It holds everything here. Okay, so I'm going to convert it to a div as a parent, convert it to a div and give it a class name. Okay, a class name, and then what we want to do here, let's just put a padding of 48 and see, okay, what will be the difference. As you can see, we've got a very big padding here. Guys, we are done with some sort of, what can I say, this template. Okay, now let's get into the fun stuff. Okay, the fun stuff is, let's get into the dark mode. Okay, what Shadcn is telling us, first of all, install next theme. Okay, start by installing next theme. What we are going to do, we are just going to follow this documentation as it is, and I am going to explain things that are not in the documentation, or my own thoughts or my own suggestions, and what you need to know. Most importantly, following the documentation is the first thing that you do. Okay, and then I will explain things, maybe things that are not explained in the documentation. So the first step will be to install next theme. Okay, how do you do that? You copy and paste this. Okay, and that is it. Go to our code. Okay, go to our code. Let's stop the server from running, and then let's paste that. Okay, so what we are doing, we're installing the next theme. Okay, let's just wait for that to finish. Meanwhile, it's busy. Let's go to the documentation. After we are done, with the next theme, okay, you need to create a theme provider. Okay, now these are the things that obviously that is not the part of the documentation to explain it. Okay, now we need a theme provider. Let me just give you an idea of a theme provider. Okay, what can I do? What can I do? Can't I use a real life example? A real life example. Let me go to Tailwind CSS. Okay, let me go to Tailwind CSS. Okay, go to Tailwind CSS. Let me change the theme to dark. Okay, now do you see we are on a certain page? Okay, let's just visit another page, components. So it looks like we are on a different website at all. Let me just go back. Okay, let me just click here. Sorry for that. Okay, as you can see that we are navigating to different routes. Okay, the main domain is here, but these are different routes, some sort of different pages embedded here. Okay, so as you can see, as we go through different pages, this theme is still the same. So meaning that this page here, okay, let's say, let me make an example, this containers page, it's still aware of the theme. Okay, and also this uh, uh, break before, it's still aware of the theme. So as you can see, it looks like we have got a global variable here, okay, that is being passed to all the components. Okay, so in React, okay, when you want to have a global variable, you do that through a provider. Okay, so let's just go to the code. Okay, so we are done installing the theme. We'll come back to it. Okay, so here in the code, okay, this is how nextjs run. Okay, it first goes to the application. The first file that it executes is not really the index page, okay, as I might have said, and that worked for that point in time. Okay, it goes to the layout. Okay, so a layout, it's kinda like a mother structure. For instance, we've got this layout here. Okay, and then in this layout, pages are being pulled and they are being some sort of inserted in a certain place. For instance, if we come here to column, the pages column has been pulled and it's only injected in this area, okay, in the columns area, let's say in this area, the content area. But this bar remain the same, this left bar and this top bar remain the same. So we can treat this top bar, every part that remain the same, we can treat it as a layout. Okay, so this is a layout, so that means it doesn't change. So Next.js will come to the layout first because it won't change. Okay, then in the layout, everything will be done where I am layout. Okay, so everything that is not going to change, it will stay here on the layout, and everything that is a children, okay, it will be passed through props. Let me just check. Here is the children. Okay, it's being passed as a prop and it's being displayed here. Okay, so to illustrate this, let's just quickly create here on the layout. Okay, this is the body. I'm rendering it here. Okay, so on the layout, let's just create our own navbar where we will put the toggle button where you will click this night and dark. Okay, we're going to it in a bar. So let's just quickly create a navbar. Okay, let's just quickly create a navbar. Let's call it navbar. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to set a tailwind. Okay, very basic. I think the width is supposed to be full. Okay, and the height, let's make it let me go with what can I say, with pixels. Okay, with a custom height, let me make it 90. Okay, 90, and then let me give a background of gray, a certain shade of gray. Okay, now what else? The height I'm done, the width I'm done, and the color I'm done. Okay, so as you can see, this is some sort of something that will be always there. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Yes, this is what I want. Let me, oh, okay, I have stopped my server. Sorry for that. This is supposed to say page not found because my server is not on. Okay, that means now we've got a layout here. Okay, something that doesn't change. Just for the sake of clarifying in depth, let's say right under this, before we close the body, this is a header, right? Let's make a footer. Okay, let's say this is going to be a footer. Okay, this is going to be a footer. Let's just let's say it's navy. Do we have navy here? Let's say blue. Okay, okay, but a certain shade of blue. Let's make 700, a darker one. Okay, doesn't look that different. It's fine. Okay, so now let's go and run the project. Okay, go to the terminal. Okay, npm, sorry, npm run dev. Okay, enter. Okay, remember, I want to give you an idea of what this theme provider is doing. Okay, if we can follow this, believe me, we will reach this stage. Okay, we will reach this stage. That's what other YouTube tutorials are doing, but they don't break it down to you so that you can be able to some sort of manipulate this knowledge to solve problems. Okay, if I just follow this, it will mean that you are a follower. Okay, according to Jim Rohn, he said don't be a follower but be a student. A student takes what has been given, process it, and makes it his or her product of his conclusion. I'm all about that, hence I'm giving you everything. Okay, now let's go to refresh. Okay, suppose we have a header and a footer that will always be there irrespective of where we are in terms of the pages. Okay, this is our header. As you can see, this is our footer. This act as a template. So meaning that a template, a layout, okay, it's some sort of a global what can I say? It's some sort of a global HTML. Let's start from there, or an entry point, okay? Meaning that it's always available in the entire application, okay? If we can make, for just an example, let me say another page, okay? This is where we are, okay? In the app router, when you want to make another page, you just type another, and then inside there, you must have a page dot tsx, okay, and then from then rfce. Okay, good programming practice. Let's just make sure this is a capital letter P and a capital letter P, and then another page. Okay, this is another page. So that means now we are having another route. Okay, let's look at how the layout is going to stay there. Okay, it's not going to change. Now let's go to another route, which is another page. Okay, as you can see, we are in another. Here is another, but the navbar and the footer remains the same because it's more like in the layout. Okay, the same concept which is happening here, even though here they've just styled things nicely. These are different pages, but it looks like they are aware of the theme because as you can see, they stick to the theme. If you change the theme here, as you can see, these also change. Okay, I hope you've got that one. Okay, let's go back to Shadcn. Okay, so this means then, okay, we need to create a component that is going to some sort of what can I say, publicized this variable, which is the variable that is responsible for the light and dark mode, so that it can be available in all the component. It's like we are sharing a state, if I can put it according to React's term. So now let's continue. I will explain in details what we do. Okay, create a theme component, which is component theme provider. They are just giving us an idea here that this is what you can do. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. Okay, in terms of the folder structure, okay, when it comes to component, I like to put UI component. Okay. Usually in terms of other things, okay, they are not inside. As you can see, this component is not inside app. Okay. So I'm going to create a folder which I'm going to call it providers. Okay. In the future, I might have different types of providers. The reason why I'm separating providers from component, I feel like the functionality there is not the same. Okay. Like providers, they are providing me with global states, but components, they are providing me with the user interface. So I'm just uh, doing some housekeeping here, making sure that things are placed where they belong. Okay, it's some sort of like sorting things nicely. Okay, so I've got a folder called providers, and in providers, I've got a specific provider that I will name Shadcn. Sure. So also stick to the good programming practices. Let's make it a capital letter, Shadcn provider. Okay, let's say .tsx. Okay, we will quickly evaluate this choice of the file extension according to the code. If the code wants us to stick to TSX, we will stick to it. But if it doesn't, then we won't stick to it. So let's see, is there any HTML thing here, tag or something? I don't think so. Okay, let's see what Shadcn is saying. Okay, they say it must be TSX. Okay, that's not a problem. But if there is no oh, here are the tags. As you can see, this is there's an HTML. If there were no tags here, this was just plain JavaScript, we were going to type .ts only here. But as you can see, this is using client. That means there is some sort of little bit of HTML. Okay, that means we are done with that. Remember, we have created this provider, okay? But it doesn't mean that we have used it, okay? Remember, we said the layout is the first thing that Next.js will execute. And it will take all the children, receive the children via props as a variable, and it will shove the children inside. Okay, sorry. This is where it's receiving, okay? It's receiving as a prop here, okay, as a variable in the layout, and it will always shove those or inject those inside the layout. So it's like everything passes through the layout. It's like everything, it's a child of a layout, okay? The same thing that this layout is doing, a provider does the same thing, okay? A provider comes and say that if the layout is a grandparent, everything that comes to it, it's a children. Okay, the provider comes and say that I can play the same role too. Okay, if the layout it's a grandparent, okay, I am going to be the parent. Okay, so that means I respect the grandparent, but I am the parent. Okay, I am the mother, and then there is my mother, which is the grandmother. So the layout is a grandmother, and the provider is trying to be the mother because it wants also to have children. Remember, the provider wants to pass a state that must be available in all of its children, in all of its pages. Let's put this into context. We've got a layout as the grandparent, and then the provider is coming to say that if you are a grandparent, okay, I have got some characteristics or some traits that I want to pass to the children. Which are the children? Here are the children, okay? And that trait, it's dark and light, okay? So when somebody switches change to light, okay, these child needs to be aware of that. So in order for me to share that state, I need to be the parent. They must be under me. Okay. So this provider does that. Okay. If you can look at the patterns, okay, there are similar patterns here. This code is not structured in a way that I understand. Okay. So that we can see what is what. It's not structured the way I would like it to be. So let me just quickly do some, sorry, undo. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think now it's better. Okay. This is a function. Okay. It receives as a parameter. Okay. A children. This is the type of that parameter. What type of a children? Maybe let's just say it's a boy or a girl. It doesn't matter. This is just TypeScript. Okay. So it receives it. And then once it receives it, once it consumes it, it will display it. Okay. Inside, it will wrap it with a div and HTML, and it will display it there. Okay. Let's look for the same pattern here on the Shadcn provider. Okay. Where is the function first? Let's see. Okay, this is the function. The function is theme provider. It receives children. Okay, the type, it's prop, don't mind about this. And what it does, it wraps the children with a next theme. Okay, the one that we've installed, and it displays it. Okay, as you can see, it's like if you've watched the movie Inception. Okay, let's just have a small break here and start Inception, because I believe it, I feel like I'm loading too much. Okay, so let's just take a quick break. Inception, it's a movie about a dream inside a dream. Okay, it's like you dream and you dream again. It's like double dreams. Okay. Okay, it's about dreams and reality. So it's about a dream inside a dream. I didn't mean to show some unnecessary advert, but I only wanted to click this picture. Okay, I think that's what comes with the internet. You want to do this and it takes you somewhere else. Let's go back to the code. Okay, so Inception is about a dream inside a dream. Okay, so now in this code, it's like there is the first layout. Okay, a grandparent with a child. Now the theme is coming to say that I am going to be a parent and I'm going to have a child. Okay, I'm going to have children. So it's like the children's inside the children, inside the children, inside the children. Okay, the point is, the theme provider wants to provide some states, to share some states with their children. Okay, so it uses the same pattern as the layout. I hope that one is clear. Okay, so meaning that if our entrance is the layout, okay, if our entrance is a layout and every children are under the layout, we want right after that, we want to catch those children again. Okay, that's the first dream. Now we want to dream again, a dream inside the dream. We must catch those children using the provider so that we own them, so that the provider can share what? Can share some characteristics. I hope that is clear. Can share a state with it, and that state is the light and dark. Okay, so let's go back to the code and see what Shadcn is telling us to do. After we are done with the theme provider, now it's telling us wrap your root layout, add the theme provider to your root layout. Okay, app layout, go to this file and catch those children before they become naughty, so that you can give them the light and dark variable. Okay, so this is what you do. You just import your theme provider. You do exactly what the layout is doing. Before those children do anything, you catch them in this provider and you receive them as children. Where is that attribute default? What? Oh, okay, remember, we don't do that here. Okay, we don't do that here, we do that here in this code. Okay, so let's just say you wrap those children and you some sort of put them inside the provider so that they can be able to catch what? The variable. So let's quickly do that. Okay, go to the layout. The first thing that we are going to do, we need what are we exporting here in this Shadcn provider? Let's just quickly check. Export function, theme provider. This theme provider, I don't think this is the best name for it. Okay, because there might be multiple theme provider. Okay, since I've got a control, let me call this just like the same way I have labeled it, Shadcn provider. Okay, Shadcn theme provider. Well, obviously we've got the newbies on the internet. They are saying, no, I feel like Matthew, this is too long, why don't we just write a theme provider and whatever? Okay, as you advance in development, you start to get lost in your own code. So if you are careless in your variable name don't really mean something. You will go through up and down your code and take 5 days for something that you could have found in 2 seconds. Okay, so I am describing here for another developer and for myself that this is a Shadcn theme provider. Okay, theme provider. Descriptive enough, save it, and let's go to the layout. In the layout, let's import it. Okay, let's import it. Let's import, let's see if we're going to, yeah, Shadcn theme provider from providers Shadcn. What we will do, we want to wrap the children. We want to catch them before they get naughty. We want to catch them. Okay, it's like we're wrapping this. We want to catch them so that we can feed them with a certain state, okay, which is the light and dark, meaning that whenever you press toggle between light and dark, every page will be aware of it, will receive that. Okay, let's just go back here. So now it's telling us that this theme provider comes with the props, and these are the props. Okay, these are the things that we have to copy and paste. Okay, these are the things that we have to copy and paste. And that is it. We have a dream inside a dream. It's much better now you understand what is going on, how Shadcn, what can I say, get into your code and try to manipulate things. Should you get stuck somewhere, you know what to do and you know where to go. Okay, we are done with that. Now, add a toggle button. Okay, add a toggle button. Meaning that let's just see we don't install it. Okay, that means we can please, okay, place a mode toggle suit to between the light and dark, what. Okay, let's just look at the code. Here is the code. Okay, as you can see, this component, okay, this component, okay, this component uses another Shadcn component, which is a button. Okay, so when we create this component, do you know what it's going to do? It's going to ask us to install another component. Okay, let's quickly copy and paste this code. Okay, copy and paste this code. What we are going to do, instead of taking this code to our navigation bar, where is our navigation bar? Our navigation bar is on our layout. Okay, here is our navigation bar, the navbar. Okay, also please be aware that this navbar is here only for the sake of teaching. Okay, I don't want to take this component out and import it. Okay, I feel like I'm explaining complex things here, so I don't want to do a lot of things and a lot of modification. I might lose you. Okay, but professionally we were going to take this out of here. Okay, so what we want to do inside our navbar, we want to display the 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 icon, okay, the day and night icon, let's just say. Okay, the light and dark theme toggler. Okay, so what we want to do, we have copied the code. Okay, another person will put it here as it is and fiddle with it here. This is not how I want to do it, because remember I said to you, this is all about creating our own library. Okay, that's what I want to drill into your mind. Okay, meaning that we're going to go to components, we're going to go to my component. This is not a math component, this is not a Matthew component, because it's some sort of my own version of the Shadcn component. So I'm going to create my own version, which is, I'm going to create here. Okay, what's the name of this? I've got Shadcn theme provider. I have got capital letter, good programming practice. I've got Shadcn theme toggler. Okay, theme toggle. Okay, this is going to be too long. Shadcn theme toggle, Shadcn toggle button. Okay, now let me just do away with Shadcn. Let me just say theme toggle button. Okay, you know the component is a button, you know what it does, and it does to what. Okay, it does it to theme, it toggles, it's a button. I'm happy with that. .tsx. Okay, obviously, some people, these are the things that they don't care about. Well, somebody has the right to do whatever they want to do. But for me, I want next year when I'm coming back here and know exactly what this does without even asking somebody else. Okay, now we are here. Now, what we want to do, let me paste this as it is, the code that we got from Shadcn. Okay, the only thing that I'm going to change. Okay, first let me solve the red line. Okay, import moon icon from at Redux UI. What does it say? Cannot find the module Redux UI icon or its corresponding type. Okay, its corresponding type. Okay, let's say import component UI button. As for the button, I know I have to install it and also the drop down menu. Okay, let's just quickly do that first. Okay, go to the button and the toggle menu. Okay, let's just go here, install the button. Okay, this is the code. No, I want to install the button, the button. Where is the installation? Okay, display the button. This is the code. My usage. Okay, if I'm inside the button, how do I install a button? Okay, so that it can be available. Okay, these are the different types of button. Yes, on this page, primary. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here is it. Okay, sorry about that. Let's copy this. npm, let's install a button. Okay, cancel, yes. Install a button. Okay, now let's look at our components folder. Okay, what will be there? Okay, suppose when we are done installing, there will be a folder UI here. Okay, which was not there. This is Shadcn button. Okay, and also what else? The drop down menu. Okay, let's go to Shadcn, look for drop down menu. Okay, this is the drop down menu. Look for how to install it. Copy this. npm, we're using npm, and then paste and then enter. Okay, now cannot find this and the corresponding type. Okay, Shadcn supposed to have installed Redux automatically. Okay, automatically Redux UI React icons. Okay, suppose, but it looks like for some reason, okay, maybe this is my ESLint or TypeScript, but it looks like for some reason these icons are not found. Okay, that's not a problem. Now let's see, am I correct when I'm saying these are just icons? Okay, these are not like, what can I say, important components. These are just icons. Okay, so we can use our own mind, okay, to solve this problem. Okay, because trying to understand why Shadcn didn't install Redux. Okay, it's a what can I say? It's a complicated route because this is supposed to be there. It's something that comes as a default, but for some reason, maybe my Visual Studio Code, maybe my ESLint, maybe whatever plugin that I have, for some reason it doesn't see this. Okay, the first option, let's just do a refresh because this is something that is supposed to be there. Okay, how are we going to do that? Let me close in this file and opening it. I don't think it will do that. Do we have any red thing? Okay, let me just close Visual Studio Code and open it. Okay, there is a shortcut, but I forgot about it now. Okay, where you can just in Visual Studio Code, I think you press Control what and type reload and it will quickly refresh. Okay, now let's go to the layout. Okay, let's go to the layout. Oh, is this the layout? Are we on the Shadcn course? Yes. It's shared C because even my name it's wrong here. But forget about that. Let's go to the layout. Am I on the right place? This is the layout. Or let me scroll up, up. Import Shadcn provider. It looks like I'm lost in my own code. Where am I? I am inside my own Shadcn component, and that component is a toggle button. Now I am back on track. I'm in my component. Yes, my component Shadcn. Yes, I'm here. We had a squiggly line here. Okay, which is after refreshing, it's still there. Okay, let me try to be clever. I am going to install these icons. I'm going to get these icons somewhere else. Okay, so let's just do this React icons. In fact, I think it's easy to install React icons, but okay, this is what we want to install, the React icons. Okay, let's just install React icons. I think even this at Redux thing, it was supposed to get this from React icons because you can see. Now let's start by quickly checking if isn't React icons is already there. And usually React icons has a forward slash. It looks like it's not there. Undo. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, let's install React icons. Okay, npmi npmi React icons. Okay, it's like now I'm installing a fresh copy of React icons. I'm not sure if according to Shadcn Redux was supposed to have React icons. I'm not really sure and I don't want to go there. I've just installed my new copy of React icons. I am going to import these icons directly from React icons. Let's try that. Okay, let's say React. As you can see now we have React icons. Okay, now we need to know, obviously we need to know where those icons are. Okay, instead of checking these, because obviously we don't know how Shadcn what these icons, what we can do, we can just search for our own selves here for a moon icon. Moon icon. This is a moon icon. Okay, that means we automatically copied this moon icon. It's under fi. Okay, so in fact this is how you use React icon. So I have copied the moon icon, and then let me check the sun icon, and the moon and the sun might not be under the same fi. Let me check the sun. Is there the sun here? Okay, so because we might find the sun under a different group, let's work on the moon. The moon, it's under fi. You just look for this fi here, and then on React you just say /fi, and that's it. Okay, as you can see we don't have the error there, and then we go back, we look for the sun. Maybe we might find the sun under a different, okay, think bi, so we might find the sun under bi. Okay, so copy and paste this. No, not this. Copy and paste where I am. Theme toggle button. Yes, where is my React Moon? Here is it. Okay, React Moon. Now we want to click here to copy the sun. Okay, copy the sun. This problem, it's the first time to occur. This has never occurred to me. When I'm installing these, things just work smoothly. Okay, because these icons are supposed to be there. And okay, here we want bi. So these icons are Redux icons are supposed to be there, but for some reason they are not there, and I don't know why. Hence, if you are a developer and you don't experience errors, you are living in some sort of a magic world, or what can I say? You are blessed, because we always encounter errors. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to change this to our new moon. and we want to change the sun to our new sun. Okay, basically that's my own approach to solving the problem. Okay, now this is our template. Okay, now the name of this component, it's theme toggle component. Okay, let me check what else do we want to change here in this theme toggle component. Nothing, there's nothing that we want to change. Okay, I think we are done with this. Okay, now let's just see. Okay, let's just see. Remember, I have talked of what can I say, a dream inside a dream. Sorry, I don't want to be here. I have talked of a dream inside a dream. I have mentioned some sort of children's which are aware of a certain state. Okay, we said this layout is a grandparent, and the theme provider that we got from Shadcn, it's a parent. It must also have children because it wants to pass a state. Okay, so now let's explain that in terms of code. This button here, okay, it's responsible for changing that characteristic or that state. Okay, so let's see how it does that. Okay, at the theme toggle button. Okay, so what it does first, it has got a set theme. Okay, use theme. Okay, do you see this is the connection? I'm not going to get into details into it, but I'm just giving you it conceptually. Okay, it has got this set theme hook, okay, which is from use theme. So this is a function, this is a hook, okay, that it uses. This hook connects it to that variable, that global variable. So these components need to be aware of this set theme function, okay, the one that sets the variable, the global variable. Okay, when we go down, as you can see, once you click on light mode, it sets the theme to light. Once you click on dark, it sets the theme to dark. Once you click on system, it sets the theme to system. Okay, so this use theme hook connects it to the provider. Okay, it connects it to this provider. Okay, so what else do we want? Let's use this component. Okay, let's copy the name of this component. Okay, let's copy the name of this component. Okay, here it's mode toggle. Okay, this is Shadcn. I don't like this name, so let me say theme toggle button. Okay, I think we can use that. Let me just copy and paste this. Okay, also I'm maintaining consistency between my file names and my function so that I know once I get here, I get exactly that. Once I see this in the code, I know this is the file. Okay, so this function now, it's theme toggle button. So let me save, let me copy this function, let me go to my layout, and then let me import it. And I'm going to put it, sorry, I must put it inside the navbar. Okay, okay, let's see the type of export. Okay, function is not a default export, meaning that when we are importing it, we need to put some brackets. Okay, okay, import it from okay, let me see if I can get a suggestion button. Okay, from components Shadcn, yes. Okay, this is the toggle button. Then let's go to our navbar. Here is our navbar. Okay, now let's put this toggle button there. Okay, it doesn't need to have two bracket. We can have a self-closing tag. Okay, as you can see, what I did in summary, I did what Shadcn is telling me to do, and I've explained the idea of a theme provider and what role it plays. And Shadcn provided us with I'm on the wrong tab. I want dark mode, not drop. Sorry for that, but we are almost done. Okay, where is that dark mode? Somewhere here on top. Am I on the right place? Documentation? Yes, dark mode. Okay. Okay, so I did everything that Shadcn wanted me to do, and I've also explained to you in details the theme provider and what it does. And Shadcn gave us this code, okay, and I didn't use it as it is. I have modified it and changed something because Shadcn, it's all about building your own library, okay? So that means we are building our own library. So now let's display this, okay? Let's see if we did that. Let's save. Is our server running? npm run dev. Let's continue. And then from then, let's see if we have the button first. Okay. See if we have the button first. Okay. Everything is running. Not here. This is not what we want. This is what we want. We are in this page. Refresh. Is the button there? This navbar is not supposed to be here. Okay. It looks like we have to be patient a little bit. As you can see, here is the button. Okay. That means we're getting there. I don't like the button here, but it doesn't matter for now. Okay. The only thing I can do, let me just add a padding. Okay. So that the button cannot be on the edge. Where is the navbar? Here is the navbar. Here is the color. Let me just say adding padding of 8. Okay. So that it cannot be. Okay, here is our button. Now let's click and see what will happen. Okay, light mode, dark mode. Okay, it looks like nothing happened. Okay, obviously somebody might ask, Matthew, you've promised us that things will work, and now things don't work. Don't worry, let's continue. Okay, now what we want, okay, we want to set some colors. Okay, these are just blue and this is just white. Okay, this is just blue, this is just white. Okay, as you can see. Okay, these are not colors that are linked to this state. Okay, these are not colors that are linked to this state. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to go to the navbar. Okay, instead of just having this bg, this color. Okay, let's set this color to be some sort of to indicate the dark mode. Okay, let me go back a little bit to explain a certain concept so that we cannot get lost. Okay, where we are here, we are on dark mode. Okay, what does this mean? This means that Shadcn views things this way. Automatically your website is supposed to be on what? On light mode. Okay, so a dark mode, it's some sort of an extra feature. Okay, meaning that by default you are on light mode, and dark mode, it's an extra feature. Okay, let's take that and apply it into the code. Okay, usually we are supposed by default we are on light mode. Okay, now let's make sure that our default background for the header, it's white where on the light mode. And then what about the dark mode? Then we need to type here dark. Okay, and then dark semicolon, and then we need to set the background. Okay, what the background must be on dark mode. Okay, so on dark mode we want the background to be black, the background of what? Of the navbar. And we want what can I say, we want the background to be white on a light mode. Okay, let's just add a text here. Okay, a sample text, so that we can let's say a sample text that changes the color. Okay, where it is unknown, maybe it wants color like this. Okay, and then if we want also to set this color to change, we can say normally this text color is white, but what about on dark mode? And then we'll say dark, then we say text, Normally it's black because the background is white. Sorry for that. Okay, I hope I'm not confusing you. Normally the text color is black because the default background is white. Okay, but on dark mode, then the text has to be white. Okay, in case you are getting this wrong, the functionality of the actual website will tell you if you've got something wrong. Guys, this is supposed to happen. Remember, I'm saying it's supposed to, based on all our theory and what I've explained. But if it doesn't work, that's not a problem. It's our duty as developers to find out why it's not working. And I would like to believe this is the most important skill you can have. You can follow the documentation. For some reason, things might not work. The best skill to have is to find out why. Okay, let's just go back here. Where is our website? Here is our website. Our website automatically is on dark mode. Okay, as you can see, our header, it's black automatically. Let's see, and also our text, it's white. This is a sample text that changes the color. Let's see on light mode. Okay, this is dark mode. Okay, oh, okay. So it looks like something is not happening. Okay, something is just not happening, and that's not a problem. We will have to check why. Okay, automatically, suppose when we click on light mode, this background changes to what? It changes to, when you click on light, it changes to white. When you click on dark, it changes to black. Okay, but as you can see, it doesn't change. But what I'm picking up, okay, what I'm picking up, automatically it's recognizing a dark mode. Why? First, as you can see, this background is dark automatically. First, it was white, remember? And also between white and black, okay, of the navbar, the system automatically chooses black. That means it's a dark mode. Between this text, which can be white and black, the system automatically makes it white because it picks up the theme as a dark. Okay, so meaning that we've got the theming going on, but setting it or toggling it, it's a problem. Okay, usually, remember we've mentioned the provider. Okay, so it's the provider that some sort of offer that mechanism. Okay, let's quickly go back to the steps first to see if isn't there something that we have missed. Okay, for now, start by installing next theme. We did that. Create a theme provider. We did that. Okay, this is the theme provider. We did that. Okay, wrap your root layout. Wrap your root layout. Wrap your root layout. Let's see how they are wrapping the root layout. Okay, this is the provider. Okay, the HTML body is outside, the head is outside, the body is outside, and then obviously it start wrapping the children. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then add a mood toggle. Place a mood toggle in your site code to toggle between light and dark. Okay, and here is the code. Okay, that is it. It looks like we did everything that we were supposed to do here. The only thing that I want to check is these attributes. Okay, this attribute, this one. Okay, is the one that is responsible for some sort of telling this provider that we are using a class version of this whole theming thing. Okay, so we must make sure that it's there. The default is system. Okay, enable system, and then okay, now to test this, let's go to the provider. Okay, and tell the provider the default theme is light, so that we can see, is our user interface going to respond. It's like we are going in the engine and we are setting things up so that we can see if is there going to be a change. Okay, we are here on layout. We have set the Shadcn provider, which is here is the Shadcn provider. We have set some attribute, and the default it's of the theme it's system. Okay, not a problem, not a problem. As you can see, the first problem that I'm identifying is that, okay, is that the footer is outside the provider. Okay, outside the provider, so that means it doesn't get the state. Okay, that means it's not affected. This is the one of the problems. This is supposed to be some sort of insight here. Okay, because we also want it to receive the state. Okay, so that if things are changing, so that it can also change. Okay, that's the first thing that we have fixed and we have missed before. Okay, let's just make sure this is the body. This is the body. As you can see, the header, okay, the header, we did a big mistake. Okay, the header starts here, but the header doesn't close. And then after that, we add, oh, okay, now I see, sorry for that, guys. Okay, I thought this is a theme provider. Okay, the header starts here. Okay, but the header, as you can see, it's outside the what? The parent. Okay, the other mistake, we are supposed to take this, okay, inside, sorry, not here, because this tab closes here. Okay, we're supposed to take this inside here. Okay, remember I said the layout, it's a grandparent. The next parent after the grandparent is the provider, which act as a parent. It plays that parent roles. It means that it doesn't want some children outside it, because it needs to catch everything. Okay, go back. Let's just quickly see these changes, and if is there anything that has changed. If not, then we'll see. Okay, I hope by now you are starting to see that it is important to understand how things work. This is what you don't find in other videos. In other videos, we follow Shadcn as it is. If we find something is not working, obviously tough luck for us. You have to see what you're gonna do. Okay, obviously, if you like this type of content, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. So let's go back to our code, which is not this one, which is this one. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, still there is no major change at this point in time, but I'm happy we are starting to see some mistakes that we did. Let's click on light. Boom, we have made it. Okay, boom, we have made it. Okay, we are able to switch between light and dark mode 100%. Okay, now we're in dark mode, and now we are on light mode. Okay, now let's just what can I say, as a bonus. Okay, remember, this is not where we were before. Okay, we were not here before. Before, we were on the landing page. Okay, remember, we copied a code from someone else. Okay, first of all, let's see, is this code that we have copied going to do what we want it to do? Okay, if it doesn't, how do you make it? Okay, obviously this one is not going to be some sort of a complicated thing. Okay, it's not going to take time. Okay, let's check dark. Okay, the background does change, okay, of which the background changes automatically, but I'm not sure if these words, even the text is changing also. As you can see, now it's white. Let's see on dark, sorry, on white. As you can see, it's gray, and so it looks like everything is changing. Okay, Looks like everything is changing. What if maybe the client come and say on dark mode, I want this button to be yellow or green, let's say. Okay, on light mode, it's like this, but on dark mode, okay, I want it to be green. How were you going to do this? Remember, this is not this is the code that we have not written. Okay, let's quickly implement that, and then from then we close the video. Okay, so that means we have to go to this button. What I usually do, I just check this text here, download, and then I will go to my JSX, which is here is my JSX. I will click find, then I will just type download here. Okay, and then I will go to that download. Here is it. Okay, as you can see, the background of this button, it's BG. It doesn't have a corresponding dark background. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to say dark. Okay, green, and that is it, meaning that when the theme is dark, use a green color. Let's go back, refresh. As you can see, automatically it has picked up that this is supposed to be green. What if we change to light? Obviously, we get back to where we're supposed to be. Guys, I didn't find on the internet a video that is as intensive as this one that explains everything. Okay, so in this series, I am explaining everything. If you might want to follow the series, obviously this is not the first video. This is some sort of the seventh or the sixth video. Okay, this is where the series start, and I am Matthew Singati, the hybrid, the designer, and a developer. If you feel like this video has added value into your overall understanding of dark theme, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one. With Shadcn, under components folder, there is a UI folder which is reserved for Shadcn. So whenever we install something from Shadcn, it will appear here. Okay, let's quickly see that. So let's copy this. Okay, I'm using npm. Let's copy this to install the accordion. Okay, control paste. Okay, let's just click enter. Don't mind about this. Okay, so what's going to happen is Shadcn will put the component here. Okay, most people they jump straight, as you can see here in the accordion. Most people they jump straight into this and they make changes from this. I don't do that. So what I do, I make a some sort of a copy or a duplicate of the accordion, but I will change it my own way. So as I'm using Shadcn, I'm also creating my own let's say watered down version of Shadcn component. Why am I doing that? So that when I want to use this component in the next project, I don't have to do this process that we are doing now. What's that process? First of all, you will have to go to the documentation, follow everything as they say. I don't want to do that. I want to have some sort of a ready-made template of an accordion with all the colors changed, and I know where to change the colors and I know what to do. Okay, now let's continue. Let's see what Shadcn is telling us to do next. Step number 2, update your Tailwind config. Okay, so what I've noticed, okay, these are the things that I also want you to notice. Let's go to our Tailwind config. Okay, what I've noticed, what they are asking me to do here, it's already here. Okay, as you can see, these are the keyframes that we're extending here. Let's just make sure we are on the right place. Are we extending here? As you can see, we are extending. Okay, right at the bottom, we do have the keyframes here. They have been extended, and you can see the accordion is already here. Okay, so what do we do then? So my approach will be, I'm not going to do this. Okay, this because it's already there. Let's just quickly confirm if this animation is also there. Okay, but I'm not going to, yes, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going to jump this step. What if maybe something goes wrong in terms of the animation, things are not going the way we want to? Then I will come back here and just try to see maybe what I might have missed. Okay, so sometimes, okay, just a moment, I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was just disturbed by a knock. So, as I was saying that sometimes when you follow a video from YouTube, the person does exactly what the documentation say, but maybe after a week or after a month or after a year, the documentation it's no longer relevant when it comes to technologies. Not the documentation itself, not Shadcn, but you might work on a different Node version or different React version or different what can I say? Next.js version. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to copy this, okay, because it's already here. So it might happen it was installed automatically, then that means the documentation needs to be updated. This is the reason for this video, so that you can understand things. Okay, let's continue. Okay, now they get into the usage, you import this. Okay, and then you do that. Okay, now let's quickly do that. Okay, so what I will do, okay, I won't do anything. I won't touch this part. Okay, I won't touch this part. What I will do, I will go to my components. Okay, under my components, I've got shared CN components. These are the components that I'm creating as I am using CN. And also my apologies if you might hear some sort of a background noise. Somebody is fixing the car outside, so my apologies for that. So I'm creating my own component. So what I will do, I will come here and create, I will say okay, my accordion.tsx. Okay. And then from then I will paste, sorry, okay. I will paste this as it is as well as as Shadcn is telling us to do. Okay, first RFCE. Okay, I'm just creating a React functional component. So if you want to know how does this shortcut is working, you just have to go here on extension and search. I always forget this extension. My apologies about that. It's React Redux snippet or something like that. Okay, I'm in the wrong place. Where are my extensions? Okay. Okay, let's say React, Redux. Okay, ES7 extension. Here is it. It's this one. Yeah, the already installed one. So this is the extension that you must install. I always forget it. Okay. So let's go back. Okay. Okay. So here I will then import. There is no need to do this because I'm using Next.js. So I will copy this as it is. Okay, we are importing here. Okay. So let's do the import. As you can see, no problem. We save. And then what we do now, we must use it. Okay, this is how you use it. Okay, let's copy this as it is and just paste it here. Okay, save. Okay. The other thing that I would like to advise that you do, you must always like work step by step. Okay, your process needs to be incremental. Okay, don't go too far without checking how far are you. Okay, because you want to know if things are not working the way you want them to work earlier in the process, so that at least you can have an idea of what might be the problem. For instance, if skipping this part gives us a problem, we will quickly fix it. Okay, if skipping this part gives us a problem, obviously we will quickly fix it and we will know that this was the problem. Okay, so I will advise, as we are starting, we must take that approach. So let's quickly run this npm run dev. And also we did our own accordion, but we didn't use it in the code. Okay, so let's import it. So let me just copy as it is. Okay, then go to a page, the main page. Okay, obviously our main page has got a lot of things, but what we are going to do, we are going to go down, or no, let's go to the top. Okay, so that we don't have to always scroll. Okay. This is where we are. Okay, this is where we are, and then let's just import it here. Okay, then let's put it here, and then let's import it. Okay, import it. Done. Then now we can run and see it. Okay, if there are something that we're not happy with, at least we didn't do a lot of things. We can chop and change, see what we can do. For me, it's not about getting this as it is, if I can be honest with you, because in most cases you might not get it because something happens. I think that that's a disadvantage that comes with a stack of technologies. So this means that you are dealing with a lot of layers. You are dealing with React, you are dealing with nextjs, you are dealing with Tailwind CSS, you are dealing with Shadcn, you are dealing with Redix. So a lot can go wrong. Okay, so to me, it's not about getting this right, but it's to get it right, even if it's 2 weeks from now or a year from now, things have changed. I wish you can get it right. Okay. My apologies for maybe since now we did light and dark mode with this code, we might as well delete it because we don't really have to keep it because we are not going to use it. Because I can see now our screen is cluttered and we might not see what we are actually doing. Okay, my apologies about that. I should have thought of it before. But then let me just delete this and go back to RFCE. Okay, and then from then save. Let's see if we're going to see this page. Okay, refresh. Uh, we don't only see that page. Okay, let's see. That means I am not in the right place here. App pages, yes. Okay, let me just double check. My apologies about that. App layout, this is my first page, and in my first page I only got this, but maybe it's still showing me the old one. Okay, I know. Okay, my apologies about that. Here is the page that we're interested in. This part and this part, they are not in this page, but they are in the layout. Okay, that's why you still see them here. Okay, if you hear a little bit of noise, my apologies about that. So let's quickly go to the layout and delete everything. Okay, let's see. On the layout theme toggle, we don't want this. Okay, let me see. Okay, theme toggle, we don't want this. What else? We don't want. We don't want also this. Okay, and we don't want this footer. Okay, okay, let's save. Go back. We only want this page. Kumbaya. Okay, now let's continue. Let's go to our page. Let's paste our accordion. Import it. Save. Now let's go back and see. As you can see, now let's click on it. As you can see, it's working. Okay. Obviously, if we were just following this documentation, suppose we are done. Okay. Suppose I've showed you and it's working. Suppose we are done. But for me, I take it further. Remember, you must understand what's going on. For instance, what if maybe you want to use the same accordion maybe in the next project? Okay. Can we copy this as it is? Yes, that's possible, but maybe we might repeat ourselves in the process. So now let's try to make this accordion some sort of a reusable component, something that is going to be easier for us to work with. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got this part. Okay, Okay, we've got this part that acts as a title, and when you click there, we've got some sort of a description. Okay, so we are going to call this a title, and we are going to call this a description. Okay, so meaning that when we want to use this accordion into the future, we are not going to some sort of change it. Okay, we are just going to pass the necessary props. It's like having some sort of a template that is there, like a spreadsheet or a Microsoft Word template, where when you want to use it, you don't really change how it has been designed or how it is the layout. You just go to a certain cell, change it there, and maybe the entire thing change. So that's what we are trying to do now. Okay, so this is my accordion. Okay, now let's go to this my accordion. Okay, the one that we did. Okay, I don't think we need this. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, we've got the accordion trigger, okay, which is this part. Okay, when you click here, the accordion is being triggered. Okay, it's the one that we said is going to be a title. We're going to give it a name of a title. Okay, this one. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that now I'm using TypeScript here. Okay, so this means that we need to receive some props. Okay, so the first prop is going to be this title. It's like we are making this dynamic. Okay, let me just do this. Okay, here we want to display a title. Okay, sorry. Okay, we want to display a title, and this is not the title that I want. Okay, Visual Studio Code automatically imported a title. I want the squiggly line because this is not declared yet. Okay, so where are we going to get this title? We must always pass it as a prop. So since we're on TypeScript, we're going to tell TypeScript that this is a string. Okay, just a bit about TypeScript. If this was JavaScript, this was going to be unnecessary. Okay, but TypeScript want us to some sort of tell beforehand that what we are receiving here as a title, it's of type string. Okay, so that's what this does, in case you're confused. So meaning that now when we are using this accordion, as you can see, this page is complaining. Okay, complaining. So when we are using the accordion, what do we need to do now? We need to pass a string. Okay, meaning that a title. Okay, as you can see. So now let's just add a CSS. That's not necessary for now. Okay, now let's just supply this with this title. So meaning that whenever we are using this accordion, we need to supply a title here. Okay, a prop title. Okay, the title, let me just type coded design. Okay, the name of the channel. Okay, what is this saying? Okay, if it says this, okay, title is not assigned, you see these angle bracket. Once you see these angle brackets, okay, this is how you fix this mistake or this error. You just go here. Okay, instead of doing it like this, okay, you do it this way. You just put this in angle bracket. This, I think this is TypeScript problem. Okay, and then you also put this into the angle bracket, and then you type this. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? Okay, what happens? What happens? Okay, this is the prop that we are receiving. It is of type. Oh, okay, sorry about this. It is of type string. Okay, so what we just did, we've just put the prop that we're receiving in some sort of inside curly braces so that we can receive it as an object. Okay, that's what we did, and the type of this is this. Okay, then we are done with that. Now let's see if in our accordion we are going to see coded design. We see nothing at the moment. That's not a problem. Let's just go quickly check. we didn't save this page. As you can see, this is still white. Okay, so we didn't save this page. My apologies about that. As you can see, now we see coded design. What does this mean for us? It means that now when we want to use the accordion, we have to just pass properties to it, but we're not done yet. Let's continue and also put the content, or should I say a description or a content? Let's just say a content, because sometimes you won't be describing something here. What if maybe you might want to put an input box here and a button? That's not a description. So let's just go with content. Okay, so now the same way we did here, we are going to change this into content. Obviously it's going to complain. Okay, we are using TypeScript. We're going to go here and take this content. I like to copy and paste things so that I cannot make some unnecessary bugs, okay, like spelling mistakes or forget or typos. Okay, so we are going to receive this. We need to also tell TypeScript here that we are going to receive this as a string. Okay, as you can see, this page is complaining. Okay, then let's go back here, then let's pass the content. Okay, as you can see, guys, we have passed the content. The content is coded design content. Let's just go and check. As you can see, coded design content. Let's say now we want to some sort of, what can I say, display a different accordion. Look at how easy it's going to be. Okay. Now we want to display a different accordion. This is what we're going to do. Let's just put a React fragment here, so that we can surround everything here with this accordion, sorry, with the fragment. Okay, so now we are just going to copy this. This is how simple it's going to be now. Okay, and then now YouTube, coded design on YouTube. That means we've just got the second accordion. You see how simple it is. So meaning that when we want to create another accordion, we don't have to some sort of maybe start from going through this, or even copying and paste this my accordion, copying and paste these, importing things, and doing other things again. Guys, I'm Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. If you feel like this video has added value into your overall understanding of Shadcn, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. In case it's your first time, you can go and check here. This is where I started with this Shadcn series. Okay, so our last video, it was number 7, and now I'm doing video number 8. Thank you so much for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe. So let's copy this. Okay, copy this. Go to our Visual Studio Code. Let's stop the terminal by pressing Control C. Okay, cancel. Control C and then Control V to paste this command as it is. Okay, let's go. Let's just talk about the folder structure. As you can see, we've got components here. Don't mind about these folders. We've got the UI folder. This U folder is reserved for Shadcn. Okay, let's see what will happen as we install the alert. Okay, and also the alert is my first time to use it. As I always or usually say, some of the components here I don't use them a lot. So it's also my first time to use an alert. Okay, but I'd like to believe it's the same procedure, same old, same old. What I want to teach you here, it's not necessarily to actually do what the documentation say, but I want to drill the understanding so that you can create your own project. Because in most cases here on YouTube, when you're learning coding from YouTube, you can follow the tutorial through and through and things will happen. But now you can't use the same knowledge for your own project. you've got a lot of knowledge about coding, but you always ask yourself, why can't I create my own project from scratch? Okay, so that's the problem I'm hoping to solve by explaining in details. Okay, so it's done. Let's see on UI components. UI components. Do we have an alert? Yes, we have an alert. Okay, let's see how it's being used. Might as well close this. Okay, so let's see how it's being used. Done with the installation usage. You just import it, and then this is how you use it. Okay, and then this is it. Okay, um, okay, I am not sure if this alert is something that just like an alert dialog box. Oh, okay, there is a dialog box and then there is an alert. To be honest, I don't have an idea on where can I use the alert. I thought it's a dialog box where you click and something will pop up. But it looks like on the alert, you don't click and nothing pops up. If you are hearing a background sound, please bear with me. Somebody is fixing the car outside. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the video a little bit so that you can finish. Okay, guys, back. At least it's quiet now. But the challenge now, it took time for the guy to finish. As a result, I don't know what I was talking before or what I was explaining, but let's just continue and see how far we can go. Okay, so we have installed an alert here. As you can see here, it is. Obviously, we are not going to modify this. Okay, we are going to go to our own components. We are creating our own Shadcn component, and then we always say my alert. Okay, .tsx. I'm using TypeScript. And then I will say RFCE, type RFCE, React functional component, and then we are done. So let's go to Shadcn and see how do we use this. So first you must import it. Okay, and then copy and paste this. Okay. Okay, let's see. Terminal. Terminal is not defined. Let's see if we can import it. Terminal from, we'll say to React. Let's just quickly check here. Okay, terminal, first name, alert. Okay, let's see. Terminal is not defined. Okay, they're importing alert, alert description, alert title, and then they've got a terminal, which is not here. Okay, okay, that's not a problem. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let me start by removing it. Okay, let me start by removing it. Now let's go to our main page. Okay, let me not remove it. Let me comment it. Okay, so that if I want to use it later, then I can come back to it. So let me just display my alert. Okay, we are done with the accordion. Where is our main page? Okay, it's not this one. It's not this one. Let's close this. Okay, let me just close everything. Okay, let me just close everything and let's go to our page. Okay, so as you can see, this is the accordion. Okay, now let's import the alert dialog box. Okay, let's see how it looks without that terminal. Let me see if it's our server running. No, it's not running. npm run dev. Okay, let's see. So this video it's about such problems. Okay, as you can see, here when I put this on my code, it says terminal is not defined. Okay, as you can see, when they are importing it here, they are not importing the terminal, but the terminal component is here. Okay, let's just quickly see. There's nothing that talks about the terminal. Maybe the terminal, it's this icon. Okay, there was a suggestion here that we can import the terminal from Lucid React. Let's just go to our component. Shadcn my alert. Okay, there was a suggestion here. Okay, when I was checking the suggestion, how do you check the suggestion? You press control and space. Okay, so there was a suggestion that we can import it from Lucid React, which is these icons. Okay, but that's not a problem. Let's continue with our first plan to do without it. Refresh here. Okay, we want to see an alert. Here is an alert. Okay, we've got an alert here. And then as you can see, we don't have that icon. Okay, let me just check in the documentation. Do they some sort of mentioned that maybe you need to make sure you've got the icon before? Okay, okay, there's nothing there. Okay, so as I used to say, there are some things that you need to see how do you come out of some challenges. As you can see, now we don't have that icon, so this is our first attempt to import it from Lucid React, which is as a React icon. If this doesn't work, we will put another icon, any icon. As you can see, it's a suggestion, but it's not that actual icon. Okay, but at least now we know that it's just an icon. So my other attempt will be to some sort of see if, okay, here is it, terminal icon. Okay, let's try this. Okay, that means now we have imported our own. Let's see. Okay, it looks like it's still the same thing. Okay, it's just an icon, nothing much. So that means you can, for instance, what we can do just to make our things look pretty, let's go to, let's see the icon. Okay, the icons, and then let's search icons, and let's just search terminal. Okay, as you can see, this is the terminal that we have seen, but we don't see that one. Okay, let me just type rocket. Yeah, it's that icon is something like this. Okay. Okay, so let's copy this. And then what we can do, let me just paste it here. Okay, here is it. I'm happy with it. And then we can here we can just copy the classes. Okay, copy the classes, paste the classes, and then we can import this from Lucid React. Okay. Now let's see how is our, as you can see now it looks more or less like this. Okay, it's not exactly, but at least you get the point. So guys, with this alert, there's nothing much to do, if I can be honest. It's a bit simpler. It's just this. Okay, so in the next video we are going to look at the alert dialog box. If you feel like this video is adding value into your overall understanding of Shadcn, please do me a favor and subscribe. Thank you so much.